So this will be my 1,000-mile review of my 22 Rmax 4LE. It's really more like 1,300 miles. Never got around to posting it at 1,000. I bought it new back in the beginning of May from Fairfield Motorsports. We came from a Honda Pioneer 1005 LE, so this was a pretty big change up. Pretty good upgrade for the kind of riding that we do. We kind of go Eastern Kentucky, Tennessee, Red Road Blue area, Outlaw Trails, Kentucky, here at Haspin in Indiana. Put a lot of miles on it so far, just for having it this year. A lot of road miles, about 400, maybe 450 of them have been these mountain trails. And now we'll dive into it. Now this video is going to hop around a little bit, just because I'm out riding at Haspin right now, so I'll drive for a while, stop, shoot a little bit. But in 1,300 miles, not very many complaints. I think the biggest one that I have is stuff like this right here, where that's the painted plastic instead of just what I was used to with the Pioneer. I could rub up against trees and rocks and never have to worry about anything, and now with this I need to find some sort of touch-up paint or just buy them the Yamaha over fenders. That would definitely do the trick. That's the only thing driving me nuts about it. Everything works as it should. Sorry for a little bit of a mess here. About 1,300 miles in a couple months. This thing is pretty much our daily driver. Nothing out of the ordinary yet. Nothing out of place. Not working. Everything is just how it is from the factory. Works perfectly fine. My bar here is upside down, and I planned on changing it, but like day 3 of owning the machine, I put the pit bike in the back of this, and the seat rides right up against this, so it holds it perfect. All you gotta do is put one strap on the back of it, so I was like, well, I'm gonna leave it. It's fine for now. If I do a cage chop, I'll have to bring it down. I went with the Super ATV flip-up windshield with the WFO Industries flare adjustments. They've let it quite a bit more airflow through. Just same Amazon mirrors, the nets from my Honda Pioneer I had, and then I bought the Super ATV rear windshield or the rear window that I have unbolted right now anyway, just because we're constantly putting stuff in the back of this thing. I did boat decking E-foam on the roof here. Another little Amazon UTV light. I like that boat decking a lot. It came out really nice. Add a little bit of sound deadening. Within a week of having it, I ordered the Weller 24-gram clutch weights for it. And when I tore it down for the clutch weights, I put sound deadening and heat shielding under the tunnel there, under this little compartment here, as far under the bed as I could reach. I put it everywhere that I could when I had it apart. And with the 24-gram weights that I put in, I did notice a difference, and cruising speed. Like I said, we got a lot of road miles on this thing because we ride it a lot. So bringing my cruising speed at 40 from 6,250 or 6,300 down to 5,700 was a good change. Adding the sound deadening and heat shield, it brought the sound down quite a bit because I'm rarely by myself in this thing. These seats always have 2 car seats strapped in them, and I have my wife, my 2 boys, and then our border collie sitting right there in the middle. And continuing on with things that I like about the machine, was coming from the 1000 Pioneer, we had 0 storage back here behind these seats, and this thing has plenty. With all of us in here, even the dog in the middle there, we can still put our bags up there on the floor by the kids. We can put our cooler back here, whatever we have. I've not had an issue where we didn't have plenty of space to go out for the day. When we go ride, it's usually no less really than 6 hours. We may go out longer than that. and that's a big deal for us. Everything in the cab, all the fit and finish, I mean, it shows zero wear pretty much. It has plenty of storage in here. That middle glove box there has quite a bit. We have a little glove box here, a little cubby. It's really, they really thought about this a lot, this whole machine. I know some people don't believe in unhooking sway bars. I do. It rides extremely better with the front and rear sway bars out. I do have the, I think it's Goldblum Automotive quick connect for the sway bars. I need to put them on for the rear, so when we're riding down the road, it's a little bit better. But even without them, it's not that bad riding down the road with no sway bars attached. And it rides on the trail much better. You get your full suspension travel with them unhooked. It's definitely, to me, you know, like I said, I don't recommend anyone take any safety features off their machine. Just for me and my riding style, and I know my abilities, and so I run them off. If my wife was taking it out for the day on a, you know, especially if there are any faster trails, I'd probably put them back on before she took it. But if I'm driving, I want them off. I ran the stock Maxxis Carnage tires for 1,000 miles. I wanted to see how they were for 1,000 miles as far as wear and everything. They're not a bad tire. They're okay, and that's it. They're just okay. They're not the same thing as a carnivore. They don't have the same ply rating, and you can tell because I turned mine. I took pressure down to about 11 pounds in those Carnage tires, and that was about the most I could take out of them to where I felt safe, where I wasn't going to blow a sidewall out or pop a bead off, because those tires, they felt pretty weak. As far as wear goes, 1,000 miles, they look amazing. The stock ones do, not these. These look good too, but they're new. But the stock ones still look amazing for having 1,000 miles on them. I just didn't like them. I didn't like the way they rode. I didn't like the way they went down the road. So I switched to the Tusk Megabyte. I had Terabytes on my last machine. They did amazing for me, the Terabytes did. And when Tusk came out with this Megabyte, having the wider open tread here, that was kind of my sign, you know, I'm going to try them again. The only issue I had with Terabytes, I avoided deep mud holes, which I still tend to avoid deep mud holes, but now I'm not so scared about them. These hook up extremely well. This is my first actual ride out with them here at Haspin, and they're holding up really well right now. These are old Razor wheels I got cheap off Marketplace. I put some spacers on, even everything out. It's fine. It does all right how it is. Now let's get to some stuff that I might change. I'm not brand loyal by any means. I like Yamaha. Riding motocross, I pretty much bleed blue. I like Yamaha dirt bikes a lot. I always have. Yamaha quads. So when they came out with this short wheelbase 4-seater, this was a natural choice for us. I don't know entirely I would make the same choice again. I probably would if I was just riding by myself, or if it was my wife and I. But the fact that we use this thing as a daily driver at home, it's pretty loud going down the road still. I know people get upset saying that. You know, it's an off-road machine, I get that. I just want people to know that it is a little bit louder than, say, a Polaris General if you do a lot of road riding with kids. That's why I did the sound deadening. That's why I did the boat decking up top. Put the Weller clutch weights in, bring RPMs down at cruising speeds. And it lowered it quite a bit to where I feel okay about it now. We're in this machine a lot, just about every day, going somewhere. That's why it has over 1,000 miles in a couple months in Indiana. That's really about the only complaint I have with the machine, and it's not even a complaint anymore because I've addressed it enough to where it's not an issue. You know, I know a lot of people don't like the Adventure Pro and these LEs, or I guess the XTRs have them too now. I love my Adventure Pro. I use it all the time. I use it for everything. You can download Apple Music on it. I track all of our trails down at Ride Royal Blue. You know, they have maps down there, but nothing that's registered anywhere. And I track all of our trails that we ride down there, and I name them. The outlaw trails in eastern Kentucky, I have all them mapped out and named, and I can send them to other people if I want. It's I really like that Adventure Pro. I like the SSV stereo system, the overhead speakers. That sounds good. I can hear it going. I mean, I can be doing 50 down the road and hear the music fine. Not an issue there. Pretty much everything about it I love. Like I said, I just didn't like how loud it was, and I addressed it. And for me, it's all right now. I'm good with it. Also, the bed, I will say the bed would get really warm right here. And that's right where our Border Collie hangs out. So I put heat shielding underneath all this. And then I also lay a horse blanket down for her. And she's fine then. We go, I mean, she's with us 6-10 hours rides, and she's good now. But it got hot stock from the factory. It got pretty warm. Oil changes on this machine, they're not bad to do. You do have multiple drain plugs, but it's not that big of an issue. The oil filter being down under this wheel well, down in there, I can reach up under the small access hole in the bottom, or get a set of filter pliers up in there and get it started going loose. I don't have an issue at all with the oil changes. Belt changes, the first time I did it was a bear. Now that I've done it, I'm not intimidated at all by it. I could probably do it in about an hour. It's really not that bad. As I'm getting close to my 1,500 mile service, like I said, I have a lot of road miles on, so I don't really even know if I'm gonna tear it down right at 1,500 miles. I'll probably run out to 2,000 miles, so I get the end of the year out of it. Tear it down at 2,000 miles. I'll put a new belt on. I'll check the weights if I have any flat spot. Order some new weights, maybe a sheave. I'll just do the whole service at 2,000 miles. I'm really considering going greaseless. Massive Overkill has some pretty good videos about going greaseless on these, and that might be an option that I do, because I don't think I really want to tear it apart all the time. I put more miles on it than I thought I was going to, so I really thought 1,500 would be easy for a season. You know, I thought I'd make it no problem, and I put it on in about 4 months. So yeah, I don't want to tear it down 3 times a year to service the clutches. So that's about it. I didn't want to be biased at all. Like I said, not brand loyal. But this checked all the boxes for us. I have nothing against any other machine out there. If you do a lot of road riding or constantly have kids in, you know, you're not doing anything too extreme, a General might be your option. They are extremely quiet going down the road. You know, I have to give credit where credit's due. But for everything else, personally, I love this machine. I would recommend it. It is extremely capable. The wheelbase is perfect on it. I mean, it does everything. So